In this video class, we will see the surface tension. Why the raindrops are spherical in nature. A liquid flowing out in a very small opening of a tube or a tap comes out in the form of fine drops and not as a continuous stream. Why? Trees are greenish, they are greenish at the tip too. How does the water rise upward in a tree or a plant against the force of gravity? For all these things, only answer is surface tension. In the title itself, the answer is there, surface tension. The tension on the surface layer of the water is called as surface tension. Surface tension is the property of a liquid. The molecules of liquid experiences a force which contracts the extent of their surface area as much as possible. Contract the extent of their surface area. The area will be compressed within the surface by a layer with the tension is called as surface tension as much as possible so as to have the minimum value. Thus the amount of force acting per unit length on the surface, the amount of force acting on unit length on the surface of the liquid is called a surface tension. For this we can see an experiment. Sprinkle some pepper powder on a water. You can able to see that pepper powder is floating on the layer of the surface of the water because of the surface tension. The layer which covers the upper layer which covers the surface of water with the force. So when you touch with the finger, the pepper particles won't be moved even if you touch it or the pierce the layer. When put a drop of liquid soap on your finger and touch it, the surface tension of water reduce, the pepper particles will move away from that. This is an best experiment. You can do it at home and see the surface tension. Take a paper clip. Here one activity is given to explain the surface tension. Take a paper clip, take a beaker of water, take a tissue paper and spread it on the surface of the water. Gently place the paper clip on the tissue paper. Observe that what happens. The paper clip will be float. After few moments, the tissue paper will submerge and the paper clip will make a small depression on the surface of water. It will instantly begin to float on the surface even though it is denser than water because the water molecules on the surface which tend to contract themselves like the molecules of an elastic membrane. The upper layer of the water behaves like a elastic membrane. A force exists on them which tends to minimize the surface of water. The paper clip is balanced by the molecules of the water on the surface that is now behaving like a stretched membrane, so it does not submerge. So once again, what is surface tension? The upper layer of the water behaves like an stretched elastic membrane. This layer is called as surface tension layer of the water. The layer makes the area to be contract within this. This is called as surface tension. We can able to see the surface tension layer on a if you boil the milk and kept it aside for some times, you can able to see the layer, thick layer, fat layer, like a thin cloth over that. This is the surface tension layer over the milk. Application of surface tension. Water molecules rises up due to the surface tension of xylem tissues and or very narrow vessels present in plants. Water molecules are absorbed by the roots and these vessels helps the water to rise upward due to a capillary tube action. The xylem and phloem nerves on the trees, it looks like a Capillary tube, small hole straw. In this straw, the water will be raising upward. It's called as raising of water through this tube is called as capillary action, which is caused by the surface tension of water. For a given volume, the surface area of the sphere is minimum. This is the reason for the liquid drops to acquire spherical in shape. And you can able to see that small insects such as mosquitoes will able to walk on the layer of the surface because layer on the surface of the water because of the surface tension. If you pour some oil on the water, the tension layer will be reduced, surface tension will reduce, and it will submerge and dry during rainy season. For that's why we are requested to pour some oil or soap on the stagnated water. It reduces the surface tension of water and it makes the insect to submerge and die. Water strider insect slides on the water surface easily due to the surface tension of water. During heavy storm, sailors pour soap powder or oil into the sea near their ships to decrease the surface tension of a sea water. This process reduces the impact of the violent water current against the hull of ship. Then we will see the viscosity in the